Hey, good morning. Just finishing up a great week here in Texas. And I was reminded once again as I got on the plane late last night to come in here to Dallas that from San Antonio, sitting on the plane, young guy sitting next to me, all plugged in. I sit down. I'm within 1 foot of this young guy. And I'm just thinking to myself, how many times do we get on planes? How many times do we stand in the line and we never speak to an individual, maybe because they're plugged in or for whatever reason? But I'll tell you something, I've done this and I learned this from my father. Maybe it's a challenge for you, and I'm sure some of you already do it. I call it that 10-foot rule. Anybody within 10 feet of my space, I try to speak to them. And I tell you, I can't tell you how many times I've been blessed with just some great encounters because of that. But for me, I can't stand to get on a plane and to sit down next to somebody and not have some kind of greeting at all. And so, and I say, don't do it for them, do it for yourself. When you think about the good endorphins that are released, and there are good endorphins when you speak to people and you're kind and just kind of reaching out. You get on an elevator, stand in 10 feet of somebody's space, give them a greeting. Standing on a corner. In some cases, it kind of freaks people out, but by the same token, I get a smile so many times, and even, hey, thanks for speaking, you kind of thing. And again, don't do it with the idea of you want to be some great kind of person or something like that. Do it for yourself with the idea that there's so many positive endorphins that are released. You do this 10 times a day, I promise you, you're gonna feel great at the end of the day. Maybe a little civility, we could use a little more of that in our lives right now. I had a chance encounter. I was in Nashville the other day, and I'm standing in a Starbucks line. I don't normally drink Starbucks, but passing through Nashville, tired as heck, needed some caffeine. I'm standing in the line, and I'm tired. And I didn't speak to people in that line, but this young guy next to me said, "Good afternoon, sir, how are you?" And he was an exchange student, and it was obvious he wanted to talk. He'd been, I guess, here for a couple of weeks, and great young guy, great exchange, buys me a cup of coffee. Didn't certainly ask him to do that. So the 10-foot rule. One other point, my father was the kind of guy that he spoke to everybody, spoke to taxi cab drivers, spoke to the people in the mail line, just a real friendly guy. It used to drive me crazy, when I was younger, but I used to see him do that. And I can't say that I did it every day, certainly, of my life, but it was something that I really admired about him, certainly as I got older. It drove me crazy when I was younger that he'd speak to all these people. And lots of times people, might not speak to him. He didn't care. He spoke to everybody. So I guess that's the challenge for you today. Not I guess, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for myself, a challenge to you. Let's pass a little bit of that civility around, that 10-foot rule. Let's reach out, try to make somebody's day a little better, and make your own day a little better by releasing those great endorphins. And I promise you'll experience that when you do that. Hey, this is Pete Kunk from Dallas, Texas. You have a great day. I look forward to seeing you next week.